Hey friends, in this podcast or video or however you're consuming this, we're going to talk about what to focus on next. There's so many things that are constantly tactics and strategies that are being thrown at you in your business, thrown at me as a business coach, right? All the different strategies to right, do your business. And I was having a conversation with one of our Emerge Surge members today, and the Emerge Surge is our training portal, our community that we work with our people in, and her income has ranged over the past few years, anywhere between $500 and $1,500. And she would love to be able to replace her full-time income. She has a really good job with her network marketing business over time. But she gets stuck in this analysis paralysis. She loves serving, but as soon as she starts about building the business, like seriously for reals, she gets overwhelmed and she kind of hits analysis paralysis, and it's not a good scenario. And when I shared this concept with her, she mentioned that she felt her load just so much lighter. She knew that she needed to focus on. And so I thought it would be good that maybe this would be helpful to some of you as well. Okay. The first thing that I explained to her was some truth about the difficulty of the network marketing business. And let me explain. Okay, so we have a couple of ends of the spectrum. We have one end of the spectrum, which is a job, right? And a job, you have typically one role and you just do the one thing. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have a business that's maybe like mine, or a traditional startup business in which you are doing everything. You are figuring out who the target market is. You are developing a product. You are figuring out distribution, focusing on the quality of the product, customer service, the sales, the marketing, right? That's true startup founder stuff, not for the weak. And network marketing is somewhere in the middle. So it's not the level of difficulty, right? You don't have to create a product, distribute a product, find, right, the shipping, the customer service, even know if people will like it or if it's good. You don't have to invest hundreds and thousands or millions of dollars into product development. So you don't have to do a lot of those really, really hard parts about business, but you do have to do everything else. So I think there are really 4 key roles in network marketing. One is sales. One is marketing, right? Constantly, right, getting new people, right? And most people operate in the word of mouth space, but that's still marketing, word of mouth marketing. Then you have the recruiting and the leadership. And that's not even to mention CEO, CFO, right? Managing all the money and some of those things. Whereas in a job, you typically have one role and you master that role before you earn a promotion. Where in network marketing, you just flip, I'm a distributor now, and you get all 4 roles simultaneously, probably without a lot of preparation, which means you got to learn as you go, which is awesome, because you have, unlimited opportunity, but there is some difficulty because you're learning as you go. So if you feel like this is hard, even though people have said it's supposed to be easy, let me just give you a little context. It is certainly, quote, easier or simpler or whatever than a traditional startup where you have to do all the product design and delivery as well. But it's still harder than a job because you have multiple roles, and you might not have a guidebook for every single one of those, and you might have multiple priorities, right? So you go to a full-time job, it's 40 hours. You just do this one thing for 5 years. You get 6 months of ramp-up time. Every company expects that, but you only need to do one thing, and you get 40 hours a week to practice. So you start your network marketing business, it's part-time. It's like 10 hours, 12 hours, 15 hours, maybe 20 hours a week. You have 4 jobs, and you've given yourself 0 ramp-up time and then heaped a bunch of shame on it. So if you're feeling that pinch, that's why. It's because it's not because you're crazy. It's because that's just what's real. However, the opportunity is, right? There's unlimited opportunity. You don't have to wait for someone to promote you. You get to promote yourself. And so what I was sharing with this Emerge Surge member was we want to start with core skills. And actually, when we start to have feelings like I'm not good enough, I'll never be good enough, let's do some math instead. So how do you apply math, right? How do you move this like feelings of confidence and I'm never going to make it and I don't know anything, and how do we measure it? And here's the format that we use with our clients, and I hope it resonates with you. And if you are one of our clients, awesome. This will probably sound familiar. If you are not one of our clients yet, either an Emerge Surge member or a mastermind member, then I'm sure this will help you a lot. And then we can also help you move the needle. So I'm just going to start with the core network marketing skills. And there's a whole set of leadership skills that we've really broken down, not saying like, it's not a blanket leadership skills, but we've actually broken them down into individual skills. So those are a little easier to move to. We'll just talk about the core network marketing skills. So it's pretty simple to get to maybe $200-300, right? Just the enrolling part. Most people can see some success based on their enthusiasm about their products, especially in the beginning. Maintaining that and growing that is where these skills come in. So the first skill is time management. Do you do what you say you're going to do? Is your time effective? Number 2 is going to be scheduling appointments. We believe don't sell on the fly, schedule an appointment. It makes it a lot more enjoyable in your sales process, and for your customer as well. You're more highly recommendable. And then if you're reading off a piece of paper, then duplication is not so tricky, instead of doing the follow-up thing forever and ever and ever. So setting up appointments. When you offer appointments, do people typically say yes? Number 3 is the skill of closing, which I guess is a dirty sales world, but it really just means that they buy, right? The customer chooses to buy. And so we usually measure that as proficient being like over 50%. And the next one is retention. So do your customers, once they enroll, do they order a second time at least 2/3 or 3/4 of the time? If that's the case, that's pretty solid. And then launching new builders. And I'm not talking about launching new builders that like take on the world by storm. The dictionary definition of launch is the process of getting started. So how many people have enrolled their first person in the past month? That's getting started. That's enough to measure that. And so when we measure, we have the scale, and we actually do each one individually. So instead of just saying, okay, look at all those things, how are you? Are you good or bad or amazing? And that's not like, you just have to localize that a little bit. And so what we do is we go through really quickly for each of those, and we give you a score, or you give yourself a score between 0 and 3. So 0 means I've never done it. Not that you're a 0, but it's 0 because you've never done it. 1 means I tried and I stink, or I'm just starting. Number 2 is I can do this, I get results. And number 3, a 3 rating would be I'm a rock star. And I grow in training on it. And so we walk through. So I walked through with this Emerge Surge member, and for time management, it was 0. For like, she thought she had a mental block, but she actually didn't have a skill because she's always had corporate jobs where they tell her what to do all day. She never had to be in charge of that on her own. So she's never really done time management. So she got a 0 there. Setting up appointments, she got a 1. Sometimes she forgets to offer them, kind of climbs up. Number 2, the closing skills was easily a 2, maybe even a 3. Retention, she's not really ever tried to build a retention process. And the recruiting luncheon, she never tried. And she looked at that, and it was a pretty low score, actually. Wasn't sure how she was going to take it. She's like, oh, I get it now. And she actually had so much hope because she knew, well, I can move from a 0 to a 1, and I can move from a 1 to a 2. And if I just start doing that, right, within 3 or 4 months, my score might be a 4 today, but it might be a 12 in a few months. And I'm going to feel so much more confident, because we can't control what other people do, but we can control what we do. And one of the things we really can control is our skill. And the way we build skill is we receive knowledge or wisdom from someone who typically knows what they're doing. Then we practice it, maybe in the incubator, maybe in a safe space. And then we also go and practice it out in the real world. So we go and do it, and we gain experience. We gain experience through wins and through failures. You can't get experience unless you also have some failures or missteps in there. And then when you practice that enough, the practice plus the experience and the knowledge, that leads you to a skill. And once you know how to do these skills, you can use them in so many different situations. And that's really, really exciting. So this was really good news for this particular member, and I wanted to share it with you. If you are thinking through these concepts and you're like, I want to go through a skills assessment, I want to see where we're going with that, just let our team know. We'll be glad to have one of our coaches connect with you and help you with that. And a really, really great place to start with your skill development is to join the Emerge Surge. And this is our training portal. We have live coaching as well. And we have all that, all the simple step-by-step processes and trainings for anyone who doesn't even have any experience in sales or leadership to be able to improve their skills. So my background is in new hire training. We got you covered. We'll make it really, really simple, even if you consider yourself not a salesperson, to be able to improve your enrolling and time management and recruiting and launching skills. So I hope that's helpful. You can join the Emerge Surge at emergesalestraining.com/emergesurge. It is only $47 per month to join. We want to make sure it's accessible to you and that you're able to really, really be successful. So if you decide to join because of this video, make sure when you come in, you let me know. I want to know how this video was helpful for people. So you guys all have a great day, and yeah, that's it. All right, take care.